that's the school I attended. If you are born into a family that you need to struggle sometimes to eat, you have no option than to go to that school. And I happen to be the third of 6 siblings. I was born in Accra here. I attended Kaneshie School, the school just at the park. That's where I attended my basic school. Then I was moved to Kaswa to go and do my JHS education. Now, when you are moving from JHS to SHS, everyone has ambitions of going to the schools you mentioned, the Prempeh, the Botwe, and those schools. But I had only one school to choose. I actually chose NASEC first choice, second choice, third choice, because that was the only option available at the time, purely because of finances. And I had to also go and do a course that I did not like, just because my big brother had done business. And he told my father and convinced my father that there were books for me to learn. So if I had to take any other course, there was no option for me, because there was no money to buy extra books. So I was forced to also go and do business. And my brother, big brother, was an accountant, or I'm pursuing something towards accounting. And again, he was forcing me to also go into accounting. I was very good in accounting, but I never enjoyed accounting. So when I was done with my education at NASEC, and let me just go back a bit, I'm never an excellent student. I had a grade 17 in my BC. I had a grade 14 after NASEC. That's not the grades of what? An excellent student. But however, because of the school that I went, it gave an opportunity. Why? Because at the time, University of Ghana had something they call less endowed schools. So if you go to a lower school, your grade is not giving the same mileage as someone who went to the Prempeh and academy and those things. But as a business student, you all want to go to the business school, right? I didn't get business school. So I was given sociology, classical history, study of religions, and at the last one is even what? Theater art. That's what I was given. And when I went on campus, the question was, what should I do beyond my first degree? Because at the time, everyone wanted to do the medicine, the business school, and all of that. So then my brother told me, do you want to follow me as an accountant? I said, no, I don't want it. Then he said, they have 2 more options. You can either pursue a course in banking or pursue a course in management. Growing up, management didn't interest me that much. So I said, okay, if banking is the only option for me to pursue whilst I'm studying on campus, let me go for banking. So then at level 300, I registered with Chartered Institute of Bankers as a student member. So on campus, level 300, I was doing sociology and I was doing a course in banking. Fast forward, in 2011, I finished sociology with first class. 2012, I chartered as a chartered banker after a year. Now, I'm not sure you are looking at me. Maybe it is the old self. So can we go to the beginning? I want to just say something small. So let's go to the beginning. I'm not the one, please. Okay, so let's stay here. So this is level 300 when I was at the University of Ghana, Commonwealth Hall, and that's my shoe behind me. It was my favorite shoe at the time. But why am I showing this? You look at this picture and look at me now, and it looks like we are 2 different human beings. It's all because if you put in certain effort, we can get to wherever you want to get. Let's move. I'll be telling the story with some of these pictures. So let's go to the next one. Let's move. I'm sure you have spoken about this already. Let's go. So this is when I was doing my service at Vodafone. So let me tell you the story about the service and lessons we can pick from it. Whilst I was on campus, I was moving around, studying everywhere. I had this friend who was into business, was always moving to China for business and all of that. So someone recommended me to him that this guy is always studying, so go and meet him. Maybe he can help you to study. So this guy came and told me that he has a promise for me. And the promise is that if I'm able to help him to graduate with me, he will give me a good place to do my service. Okay, so I said, oh, if this one is what you want me to do, I can do this. So I was always taking him through. He would vanish for like 2 months, come 1 month for the exams, but I was always with him. So when we finished our service, my first posting, I was sent to a school somewhere, very far. And at the time, I was preparing to write my final papers as a chartered banker. So I called him and told him, guy, the time is now. If you have something to do, this is the best time to do it. So he asked me for my PIN, and I sent my PIN to him. After 1 week, he told me, Patrick, go and check again. And when I checked, I was moved to Vodafone Accra, meaning I had to stay here to do it. The seed that we sow in people's life will always come back to us, no matter how small that seed is. So today, you may think that, oh, this thing is so much work, but tomorrow it will give you something. So this is me doing my service at Vodafone. Let's go to the next slide. And this second picture is when I graduated as a chartered banker with Chartered Institute of Bankers. So this is my graduation picture, and you can see my face nicely over there. I was still doing my service at the time I graduated. Let's move to the next picture. Now, in 2013, I'm someone who likes to study. And even though I did not start life as an excellent student, let me put it that way, I was always wanted to learn something new. So in 2012 to 2013, I started putting my thoughts into a book. God being so good, in 2014, I was able to publish this book at the University of Ghana Political Science Department. And this is my first book that sparked my quest to start writing. So if you have something in you, it may be small, but if you're able to discover it, and I discovered mine very young. At the time I learned this book, I think I was about 23 or so when I learned this book. And that sparked my quest to keep on writing. And as we saw in the profile, I've written more than 70 articles in BFT, and almost every day I'm writing something because that is the passion that I have. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next slide. So after my service, I got a job in a company as a personal assistant. Now this story is quite interesting. I went for the interview as a personal assistant because there were jobs online. I went for the interview, and when I was interviewed, everything, my appointment letter came, and they had changed my role from personal assistant to financial analyst. Why? Because when I went for the interview, I did not speak like a personal assistant. I spoke like someone who had knowledge in finance. And because I was done the CIB course. So I went in for just 9 months, an opportunity came in GT Bank, and I applied as a fresh graduate. So this is me at GT Bank, my first day at work, and I just decided to take a picture so that today I will show it. Let's go to the next one. So beyond GT Bank, that's when I said I started writing articles in papers. Now, I've been writing articles on financial literacy, and if you don't know me, perhaps today is the first time. If you Google my name right now, the articles or anything you see related to me is financial literacy, because that's what I do. So I've been writing articles for so many years, to the point that at a point someone called me and said that, Patrick, why don't you change these articles into a video? And I said, no, I don't have the gadget. 2, I don't think I have the face for videos. But I would give it a try. So I took my laptop. At the time, I'd moved from GT Bank as a relationship manager to Omni Basic Bank as a branch manager at the age of 27. So I used my office laptop to try a video, and we are going to see some of the pictures from that video. I tried the video, and I shared the video for people to watch. Now, everybody that watched the video was happy with the content, but we're not happy with the quality of the video. Let's move to the next slide. I'm sure we'll see it very soon. Next. So this is the first video I did. So I did it in my manager's office, just my laptop. And everybody enjoyed this video, but look at the setting. Nothing professional about this video. It's like someone is just sleeping and trying to do some video to share. Even though what I was talking about was valuable. Fast forward. Then I tried another position with a colleague in the office. And this was our meeting room. This was actually our meeting room. We see how we are clustered together. We are trying to do a video. let's move on. I tried again alone, next. Then I started getting help with a friend. So a friend came along and said that, Patrick, I'm going to do the video shoot for you, just to add a touch to it. Again, with the video that I started, I did more than 7 locations because every location we went to, the next time it was not available. And I didn't have money to go and do a video at a place. We went to multiple places, and all of them said that, Patrick, you have to pay. We went to radio stations to try and sell our ideas. They said, Patrick, you have to pay here. Do you have sponsors? We said, we don't have sponsors. Then you can't do it here. Let's move on. Then sponsors started coming to the show. So this video is a video with my sponsors on the platform. So that's Pension Alliance Trust. They were talking about their product here. Then it started opening up. Then I was getting calls from radio stations. I was getting calls from TV stations. TV stations that earlier on were rejecting me because I was pursuing something that I was passionate about. Now they were calling me. Now sponsors were coming on board because they had seen something that I was doing. In life, whatever you think you are doing that you are good at, never stop. Keep pushing until the world hears of you. It's very important. Let's move on. So these are other aspects of the videos that I did later on. So you watch this video and watch the first one. I'm sure you can see some improvement. Yeah, we'll get there very soon. So let's stop on this picture. In my writings, I make sure I position what I do to sell to a particular group of people. Now this is a picture with Alliance Insurance, MD, and other executives. Now how did I get here? I have my car insurance with Alliance, and I told my officer one day that I had an accident. I wanted him to work on that accident quicker than any other person. And if he's able to do that for me, I will write an article and give them prominence. So that happened. They paid the claim within 8 days. And I told him that for my goodwill, I'm going to write the article. So I wrote that article on LinkedIn, and the number of likes and retweets and reposts made them invite me to their program when we were having the customer service program, and actually wanted to take picture with me and post it. So this picture, they called for this picture, and they made sure they posted it on their platform just because I had delivered value for them. Ask yourself, are you a person of value? Are you a person of value? What value do you give to people that come into contact with you? It may be something small, but it's something that they live, and it will always be part of them. So with the YouTube that I started, I was able to do it and gain prominence in the financial space to the point that there was a time that YouTubers in Ghana, when they were launching the program, they invited me together with all of these people for a program, for a session. And that's what value will give you. If you do it well, ordinarily, these are people that I wouldn't have met. But because of what I was delivering, I was called to come and have a session with them. Let's go on. I've been having sessions afterwards. Let's go on. Is that the end? That's all. Okay, thank you very much. So I just show these pictures for us to see the journey that I've gone through. My journey is not anything extraordinary, but it's a journey of learning. I learned every step of the way. Now, when I moved from GT Bank as an RM to Omni Basic Bank as a branch manager, if you know GT Bank in the 2013, 14, 15, we're not giving loans. GT Bank was not giving loans, especially at the retail level. So I never learned anything about loans. Even though I was a chartered banker, I knew nothing about loans. Now, I went to a bank branch as a branch manager where loan was the order of the day. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just go and learn some gimmick somewhere and come and do the loans? Because when you set your foot on that desk, loans are coming. But I had one officer who was also an experienced loan officer who was reporting to me. One thing that I did was that I humbled myself to learn loan from him. And he was the same person that the one that brought me to the job told me that I should sack him. Because he had that quest to always question authority. But I humbled myself to learn loan from the gentleman. And I worked with the gentleman for the period that I was with the bank before I left and joined Chartered Institute of Bankers as head of marketing. So sometimes you need to humble yourself to learn from people. Whether they are your subordinate, as she rightly said, or you are your bosses, learn from them. That's very important. Then the next one is the purpose. What is your purpose? You should be known for something. And our speaker said it. What are you known for? Today, as I said, if you Google my name, everybody will see that I'm known for financial literacy. It did not start in a day. It started so many years ago with write-ups. Sometimes I write an article on Facebook. Nobody will like it. You have to like it yourself. But today, I write, and within 10 minutes, people are just reposting. It's because you sow the seed somewhere. And I want all of us here, whether you are old, young, make sure you sow a seed. And make sure the seed germinates before you stop. Never stop. Keep pushing until you get to the top. With our time, I want to just end here and say thank you to Daniel for inviting me onto this show.